or calm. Because often, calm reveals how distorted fear has made the lens. If you were calm, maybe that person's silence would simply be silence. If you were calm, maybe that challenge would look difficult but manageable. If you were calm, maybe that mistake would look reparable. If you were calm, maybe that criticism would look useful. If you were calm, maybe that pressure would look like a test, not a threat. This is the difference between emotional slavery and emotional leadership. The slave believes every feeling. The leader questions the feeling before acting. Most people do not do this. They feel afraid and instantly obey the interpretation fear provides. They do not say, "I feel fear." They say, "I am in danger." That confusion changes everything. Feeling fear and being in danger are not always the same thing. And if you never learn that distinction, pressure will always control you. Because the body can create fear in moments of growth. Before the speech. Before the confrontation. Before the launch. Before the leap. Before the boundary. Before the confession. Before the performance. Before the truth. Fear often appears right at the doorway of expansion. So if you interpret fear as a stop sign, you will spend your life retreating from your own evolution. This is tragic. Because many people think fear is protecting them. But often, fear is simply protecting the old self. The smaller self. The familiar self. The self that wants certainty, approval, safety, and control. But the Stoic does not worship familiarity. He asks, "Is this fear warning me of real danger? Or merely resisting discomfort?" That question can change your destiny. Because not all fear is wisdom. Sometimes fear is laziness in armor. Sometimes fear is ego in disguise. Sometimes fear is old conditioning pretending to be truth. And if you do not challenge it, you will live inside its story. That is why emotional discipline matters more than raw intelligence. A highly intelligent person with no emotional discipline can still destroy their own opportunities. They can overreact in conflict. They can self-sabotage under stress. They can speak rashly in anger. They can retreat in fear. They can spiral in uncertainty. They can collapse under judgment. Meanwhile, a moderately gifted person with strong emotional governance can outperform them consistently. Why? Because clarity under pressure beats brilliance in comfort. Always. Panic is not just fear. Panic is fear without perspective. It is fear that has accelerated so quickly that the mind loses proportion.